Good evening, everyone. My name is Diane Matyas. I'm the CEO of SportFitz. And let me see if the clicker works here. So, before I start my presentation, I know I only have 5 minutes. I just want to thank everyone at Meetup for hosting this event, Women in Wearables, and the sponsors for the event. Thank you so much. So, SportFitz delivers concussion monitoring solutions to reduce the incidence, risks, and costs of brain injuries for the youth and adult wearable market. Awesome, it works. Okay, if you don't know, SportFitz was founded in 2016. Fitzroy Vanderpool, 6-time world boxing champion, who's been concussed a great deal, because I said 6-time world boxing champion. He was the ambassador for Rowan's Law, and Rowan's Law is the first law in Canada coming out of Queen's Park for concussion prevention, concussion reduction. There's 49 recommendations. He was selected as the ambassador for Rowan's Law. So Fitz and I got together to try to reduce the incidence and impact of both major and minor concussive events in sport. Here's the problem. Anyone here been concussed? Anyone know of anyone who's been concussed? Okay, so 50% of everyone who plays a sport, for sure, has been concussed or knows someone who's been concussed. The challenge is there's 22 possible and different symptoms of concussion. So how do you assess concussion? If you have one of those symptoms, then you're considered concussed by, it's a medical definition. So anyone being concussed, headache or no headache? Dizziness, no dizziness? Nausea, no nausea? Okay, these are the types of questions that the doctor's going to ask. There's 60 possible questions to ask. Based on your response to that, your subjective response after your concussion, they'll say, I think you've been concussed. Subconcussive events are even more challenging to diagnose in the medical profession. What happens with subconcussive is we don't know. We're never really impacted, and so we don't know if we've been concussed. We just feel awful. I don't know if anyone here has been subconcussed, where you don't know, it's been 6 months, a year, 18 months, and still you don't feel right, but you're not sure what happened. Maybe a headache. So our solution's called the Fitz. Now, I don't know whose camera here who can see this, but I'm wearing the device here. Okay, the Fitz is a brain injury monitor worn on the head. We prefer it be worn on the head, on the mastoid process. Anyone come to the booth? Did anyone see the portal? We have an app you can download. Who's wearing the device right now? Who are the 10 women wearing it right now? Okay, there you go. So we handed out some for samples. These are 3D prints of the prototype. So it says it monitors for immediate assessment by a medical professional. And we have all kinds of bells and whistles on it. You can read the features: GPS, reusable, waterproof. Our goal is to make Fitz as ubiquitous as shoes. Okay, here we go. Here's how it works. Ready? Ready? Okay, good. So I'm wearing the device. If an impact is greater than 20 Gs, it will register, go to the cloud, see the cloud, and then a haptic audio or audio feedback will come to your device. If you're playing, if you're performing, I don't know, you're Cirque du Soleil and something happened and your haptic comes to you that says, get off the field, get out of what you're doing, something's wrong. Okay, then your medical team will also get the alert on one of those devices, one of the smart devices, and they can determine what they want to do. We have, I don't know if you call it competition, I wouldn't, but you know, we have nine ways to measure the impact of the event. Here's some competitive advantage: encrypted data for security, transmit data in real time to the cloud, embedded programmable thresholds. Okay, so here's the real fun. Why we're here today. The Fitz will change the way we experience performance. Okay, what Fitz will do is we will show in virtual reality, so media, entertainment, performance, We will show, even someone I spoke to is doing movies, okay? We will show you in real time an animation of your head where the impact occurred, the force of the impact, and anything else you want to know about the impact will be documented and shown in VR. Totally awesome.
Time's up. Sorry.
I did it.
How do you have the price points for these things? How are you going to make money?
Yes. Initially, they come out at $150 plus a recurring data plan. Okay, and then down to $100 per device per person. Customizable. See, mine's I asked for pink, so mine's pink. Could be whatever color you want, however you want it, whatever you want inside.
What is your rollout strategy? Who is the first target user?
So we've already partnered with a few corporations, and they would like to use it for their own personal testing and roll it out through all their clients.
And do you see this being utilized for like the pro, or are you going to be rolling this out for like kids and amateurs? Who's the first target audience for these beta testers?
So we're considered the pro, pro market would be first. And then field testing through pro market and amateur and recreational.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Big round of applause for Diane, everyone. And you're up next. Little robot friends. Your time starts now.
Okay, hello everybody. My name's Poochareon. Nice to see you again. I am the co-founder and COO of Little Robot Friends, and we make connected toys and apps for teaching kids how to code. Going to press this, and okay. In 3 years, whole generations of kids are going to be learning how to code in their classrooms as part of their school curriculum. Because we're now starting to understand that coding is a literacy skills that is necessary for the 21st centuries. So governments and private industries are promoting it. Parents are demanding it, and teachers and educators are scrambling right now to teach kids how to code. And this is what my kid, and probably a lot of your kids, are going to be faced with. And it's not just going to be an after-school club or like a summer camp, but it's going to be compulsory. But here's the problem. Have you tried to teach a 7-year-old how to code? Not just using YouTube, but coding something. 0. I'll tell you, they won't do it for very long. And the problem is that coding itself is inherently boring. And kids have these tiny attention span, and what they're into at age 5 or 7 or 8 is not really compatible with the activity of computer programming. It's hard, it's tedious. So what we want to do to get kids to be genuinely interested in coding for the long term, not just classes they'll have to take in schools because they were told to do so, is to let them discover coding for themselves, to make them decide that coding is fun. And to do that, we have to engage them in a way that helps them understand code at their level. We engage them through play, through crafting, and through storytelling. So at Little Robots Friends, we have created something that introduces code and electronics in a fun way. It allows for the development of technical literacy, of creativity, and as well as social and emotional learning. And we made a little robot, this one, that you can take anywhere. And tonight, I'd like to introduce you to Spiky, Ghosty, and Curvy. They're expressive robots with big personalities, and they fit in the palm of your hand. They're packed with sensors to make them interactive. Let me try to turn it on for you. It's gonna start blinking in a little bit. There you go. They're packed with sensors. And he can do this when I shake him. And I can tap his head. Yeah, okay. Time's flying, so thank you, Kirby. So their reactions that you just saw can be reprogrammed using, and each reactions will basically customize the robot's personality. If you have more than one, the robots can talk to each other. They can also form a network and connect to the internet. But beyond being cute and high-tech, these robots have very active imaginations. And they're constantly imagining themselves in different stories as different characters. Sometimes they go on a space adventures and meet an alien robot monster. This clicker is hard. They perform opera singer in their fantasy life. And they sing together as a barbershop quartet. They go on picnic dates. And sometimes they dress up as superheroes. But what we love to do at Little Robot Friends is get kids to teach themselves how to code through making their robot characters and having stories. So Tiago here has made Curvy into an angry pirate and Ghosty into his bumbling shipmate, but his hat fell off when we took the picture. We made an app to make customizing the robots easy, and kids can quickly get started and see the results. And as they progress through customizing their robots and become familiar with that, we have a myriads of tutorials and tricks that let them learn how to code.
Time's up.
And there it is. Thank you.
Questions from the judges?
Where can I buy it and how much does it cost?
Oh, you can buy it outside right now. We're selling it for 20% off our online price, which is 99 Canadian. We are also selling it on our stores. And TIFF, Bell Lightbox, has some in stock as well.
Do you have beta customers? Have you started testing?
Have I started testing? We've been testing this version since last summer. And so we've kind of, we're now reaching out to other makerspaces to do play tests and summer camp sessions as well.
How do you see the Little Robot Friends getting outside of kids that are already interested in coding? What is the marketing strategy in introducing coding to someone that hasn't even heard about it before?
Yeah, great question. So a lot of school teachers have started to contact us, and what we see going forward, let's say in the next few years, is starting to introduce them to schools. You know, like the summer camps and maker spaces and things like Ladies Learning Code and Kids Learning Codes are all great for the parents who are already into it and know it. But the parents who don't know it, they rely on school teachers to be their influencers, so to speak.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, up next is Penta. Alexa. Your time starts now.
Awesome. Half the people in this room will experience a severe soft tissue injury at some point in their lives. Now, whether that's a sprain, a tendon tear, or arthritis, these injuries can make everyday life a constant struggle. Now, when you go to the physiotherapist, they'll often recommend exercises, which help regain range of motion. But to actually help speed healing, things like ultrasound and infrared therapy are recommended. Infrared therapy is clinically the most effective treatment you can get. In some cases, speeding healing by up to 30%. But where it's studied to speed healing, it's often used every day. The truth is, physiotherapists struggle to recommend treatment plans that their patients will actually complete. This means that high-commitment treatments like this one aren't an option because most patients can't even come weekly. At Penta Medical, we thought this therapy was too promising to be hindered by poor implementation, so we developed Helios. Helios is a wearable form of infrared therapy that matches the clinical parameters of these units. It's washable and is programmed with a software app where you can input your injury and it'll program the wearable to the exact treatment that you need. and then keep tabs on you along the way. Oh, sorry. Keep tabs on you along the way to see how your injury is progressing and optimize the treatment parameters for your specific injury. We took this to Manulife, and they said they'd be willing to cover this product. That's huge, because insurance companies and employers can spend up to $60,000 per soft tissue injury. We also took this to professional athletes, our early adopters. We spoke to over 300 athletes, from recreational to professional, and 5 pro sports teams who all said they'd be interested in purchasing our product, from the Toronto Argonauts to the head of the varsity teams at Stanford. So obviously, our early adopters are professional athletes. Could you imagine going to see your favorite sport and your favorite athlete and them not being there because they're still recovering from their ACL surgery? But with a more convenient form factor and the insights we offer through our app, down the line we plan to expand to target recreational athletes and the everyday person who's been injured. And further down the line, we plan to expand our product line so we can also target chronic conditions, such as arthritis. This is over a $180 billion market. And how do we know these markets want this? Because the market trends are telling us they do, in addition to our own research. So when people were asked what they want out of a wearable, over anything else, 75% of people said they wanted to collect and track their medical data. The NBA and other sports teams know how important this is. Just in December, they organized their own committee to vote on how these can be used and keep up to date with trends in the wearables industry. This is an industry that's growing by over 20% year over year. And some of our competitors, with fewer value propositions and higher prices, have sold over $500,000 to $1.5 million on Kickstarters. So we also took this to doctors and physiotherapists and the medical professionals who manage these treatments. They said that they would love to recommend this to their patients and that there's a huge need, because what's on the market today is either the clinical units that sell at a crazy high price that undercuts the patient and the patient ends up paying for it, or the wearables that are low quality and don't actually offer specific treatments or any kind of data tracking, which is what you really need. We're being noticed. Forbes called us one of the top 10 female-founded tech startups, and we were featured in the global
cotton or any other textiles, combining them with wires that create the circuits, as well as functional fibers that actually have built-in functionality, for example, like carbon-based fibers that can heat up your body or then can act as a catalyst for air contaminants in the air. And in addition to that, we have sensor modules that can be attached to those fabrics. And through the circuits that are built into these fabrics, they can actually monitor a number of different things. And those things can include like temperature, sound, gas, air pollution, and can actually act as actuators in terms of creating vibrations. So by combining all of these different elements, like the soft circuits that we are weaving into these fabrics, as well as functional fibers that I mentioned, and sensors and a small module that allows you to have the communication of the data and the power for the device, we can create these smart fabrics. And one of the applications that we're starting with is scarves. So in terms of the functional textile market, it's actually estimated to be about $5 billion market. Is growing. And one segment that's really growing fast is the home and lifestyle market. So when you look at, for example, sports networks or the fun wear, so you can see people here all wearing scarves. And those scarves are meant to create a spirit or connection between people, to create communities. But can we actually take them a little bit further? Can we actually create networks and create some sort of intelligence out of these fabrics? So one area that I propose is basically having those kinds of smart fabrics integrated into existing sportswear and be able to partner with those organizations to get them into the hands of people so that they can act as a modules. So for example, they can help you pay for act as a ticket for the game, for the entrance, or help fans connect through the tracking action during the actual game, as well as creating data sets which could be really useful for media agencies to really track people's engagements, how different parts of the team connect. In addition to this, we can create, even in experience like here in the conferences, you can have those kind of sensors integrated to help the audience members connect with each other and find communities. In terms of the actual existing market, There is things like trackers that a lot of us wear, me included. There is smart clothing, and there is applications that track several metrics about you. But a lot of these metrics are not really, they don't really augment us. They don't create, modify our bodies, like, and they cannot combine tracking and augmenting. So this is part of the reason how we are differentiated. So we have already accomplished, we are just launched in September. We have functional prototypes. If you want to see them in action, you can come in to our demo area or visit us at Ryerson University. And we are currently a small team, but we are also recruiting. So let me know if you're interested in this area as well. So to conclude, I'd like to summarize that we are WeavAir and we help clothing do more. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Just a question. So, do you is your business model that you'll provide these smart fabrics to makers in order to create products? So you're kind of licensing this technology, or will you be owning the creation of clothing in this manner? What's the strategy?
So right now our strategy is, so this is a platform solution. So the base unit or the scarf is part of what we manufacture, but our goal is to go through existing distribution channels, so to kind of build components that would go into existing products like clothing, so going through the sort of like licensing, I guess.
Do you have an idea of the costs?
So right now, to make a scarf, it costs us about $50. We can actually decrease that cost further, and our goal is to have this kind of base unit, as well as kind of replaceable modules, the sensors, based on the people's need, would be kind of recurring revenue as well.
I mean, if you had, so let's say you had this scarf, this technology in your scarf, if you, something you wear a scarf all the time, like how, oh, sorry, you're pointing. Like how long does it last?
Oh, you mean the batteries? Or?
Yeah, like the batteries, or, you know.
Right. So basically, it's rechargeable LiPo batteries. They would last you about 4 hours for the regular use. However, it really depends on which sensors or what kind of functionality you're looking for. So as I mentioned, sort of like an ecosystem. So it's going to be, depending on the specific use cases, we'll have like a tailored solution.
And then can you wash it?
Yeah, so this is one of the interesting components of it, is that it's actually, everything is protected, so everything is insulated and washable, and those modules are removable. There is like a special connector that we are developed, which is part of our IP as well.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Up next is Zero Infinity.
That I'm really glad I don't have on that smoking dress, because if I did, you wouldn't be able to see me. I think the room would be filled with smoke right now. I'm not used to talking in front of this many people.
Your time starts now.
Okay. My name is Krissy White. I'm co-founder and CMO of Zero Infinity. We create mixed reality live experiences for venues and events. We focus on creating new types of entertainment, creating motion-based social experiences in public places to brand the personal MR device, target early adopters, and accelerate its mass adoption. Oops, sorry. See, this is why I don't want to be up here. I don't want to forget anything, so I'm going to get back to my notes. I'm sorry. Okay, so over the next 5 years, the mixed reality device will become the personal media device that society adopts and uses because of the depth and breadth of its social, practical, and entertainment capabilities. We believe that the evolution of AR is MR, and that as development continues, the bulky form that the MR headsets take on today will assume the sleek form of today's smart glasses, much like the ones pictured here by Meta. So, how do we get there, and what are the opportunities right now in the process of adoption? The best way to sell technology to consumers is by giving them experiences that they want to buy. An MR entertainment experience is 50% content and 50% context. It's not just about the content, because the setting in which we experience the content highly influences our perception of the overall experience. Our marketing methods, our pre-adoption marketing methods, will convince the target consumers of the device's value by allowing them to try it in an entertainment setting. They will strategically brand the device as cool in public with friends in a fun and entertainment purposes. And they will sell it by connecting consumers with opportunities and the incentives to be the first to own the device. This is a demo that we've created called Zarzal. We're demoing it outside today, actually, so come and try it. To give you a bit of the context, it's taken outside at night on a cell phone looking through the HoloLens.
Enter the containment unit. Ionization high. Exit containment to reset. Ionization reset.
So, we will be running experience tents at festivals, raves, and concerts, where along with Zarzal, we'll be offering food, drink, merchandise, and interactive community art. This will brand our device partners product with the target market, Gen Z, who will naturally be the first to adopt these new technologies and also will be willing to grow with them. People who attend these events are looking for something outside of this world, and that's exactly what we create. We're also working on 2 other MR games that will together make up the holographic arcade. This is a profitable amenity for hotels that monetizes event rooms when they're empty, which is actually about 70% of the time, and creates an exciting cutting-edge draw for the hotel chain to offer its guests. And finally, there's The Six, our music-based holographic movie experience. The audience shares in a 1-hour holographic movie production that is music-driven and takes place around the audience and throughout the space. Participants will interact with their friends, moving around the space, consuming food and drink, all while using the MR device in a nightclub lounge setting. This is a new form of entertainment, a new form of art, a new form of community. This is the future. We're a team of 3, raising seed capital to help us launch our sales strategies. We also have an amazing board of advisors, including Francis McDougall, who invented some of the technologies used in HoloLens. Thank you so much for listening. We're Zero Infinity. We create mixed reality experiences for venues and events to brand and fuel device adoption.
Thank you. Just a question on some of your business model. You're focusing on LBE, or location-based entertainment, which is great.
Yeah.
Are you renting these locations? Are you finding places to partner? How does that work?
Right now, we're talking with festival event planners who do festivals anywhere between 50 and 150,000 per event. And we're talking about actually being a part of, they often have many different components. So right now, we're talking about being a part of their festival.
Do you have an activation already planned to date, or are you still in the development process?
We're still in the development process right now. Yeah.
Okay, that kind of goes on with my question. I was going to say if this has been kind of tested in that kind of environment, like a rave environment or a festival where there's a lot of people who are under the influence, that could be potentially dangerous. I mean, someone could just kind of trip out, okay?
Right.
It's like someone might freak out. I was like, just didn't, but I mean, that's kind of what would, or potentially like hurting something or someone around them.
Right.
I feel like someone could really trip out.
Right, well, we'll be inside a tent and we'll be 1 person per person who is using it. And that is what we're doing next, actually, is we will be going out to EDM festivals, concerts, raves, things like that.
Yeah, go to Digital Dreams and get a survey at everyone in the summer. You'll be like, whoa.
Right, exactly.
Are you working with other platforms? And
We-
MR, VR?
We aren't right now, but we are totally willing to, for sure.
Are you focusing on any particular genres of content, or do you feel like it's universal?
Well, right now we're kind of focused on just out of this world, alien, kind of, going to other planets and things like that. Mostly because we feel like the market that we're making this for, they want that out of this world experience. But I mean, the world is our oyster. We could go anywhere with it. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, up next is Blueline. This is our final pitch. Okay, your time. I know, letting you drag the chair. Okay, your time starts now.
Some of you might play hockey, have kids that play, or at least you know someone that plays. And I'm sure we can all agree that getting dressed for hockey is a hassle. The dressing room, chaotic. And players spend hours each week hustling to dress in 13 or more different pieces of equipment that still leave critical gaps in safety. We're Oniric Hockey, and we developed a patented piece of lower body equipment for hockey players, an industry that is comprised of 1.1 million players in North America and over 6 million players globally. Our protective base layer improves safety and enhances performance while making it simple to dress for the game.
We've brought innovation to hockey equipment. Some of the features include shin pad pockets, so players can easily slide their shin pad into place. They don't need to fiddle with straps, then load on the tape. There's padding at the back of the leg to protect in areas that are currently left exposed, as well as a cut-resistant ankle to protect the Achilles from sharp skate blades. We're positioned as a premium product. Our youth model retails for $99 and adult for $129. Our profit margins this year, direct, are 60% and 30% through wholesale. In our first year, we are really focused on establishing our distribution channels and selling direct. Our distribution strategy now includes selling online through tournaments and team fittings and partnering with mid-market independents across Canada. Next year, we'll scale by focusing on larger retailers. Our target market are hockey parents with kids ages 5 to 13 and adult recreational hockey players. We'll be reaching them through online and in-store advertising, seeding products strategically, press outreach, and working with influencers. We'll also be generating endorsements with NHL alum, such as Theo Fleury. We just launched at the end of May 2016 and have great traction. Over $50,000 in revenue. We're in over 30 stores across Canada. We're working on a test order with Sport Check to test in the top 20 to 30 stores. We have great press coverage, and we scored a deal on Dragon's Den. Our goals this year are to partner with 75 dealers across Canada, achieve close to 100% sell-through, and due to the demand of our youth product, we'll be releasing our adult line this spring. Our projections this year are $500,000, spiking in prime hockey buying season, and next year, $2.8 million, giving us just a 3% market share.
Now, here's a bit about us. First and foremost, we're both hockey players. I'm Kayla, and this is Emily, and together our experience is in digital marketing, design, and sales. And we're not doing it alone. We have our technical designers in Hamilton, as well as our sales reps throughout the country, and we're supported by our mentors at Communitech and Accelerator Center. We're looking to raise $200,000 within the next 6 months, and we'll be using those funds for heavy marketing and brand awareness leading into the new hockey buying season to help fund our next order of inventory, for R&D and prototyping on new products, and to travel into the US so that we can help establish our distribution there. We're Oniric Hockey, and we're dreaming different. Our mission is to bring innovation and more protection onto the ice so players can safely enjoy the game they love.
Very cool. So does what you guys sell specifically, the pants, that fits with an existing piece of hockey equipment?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So they're not replacing any equipment. The only thing they're replacing is the jock or Jill.
So in hockey, what normally goes the leg thing going? Sorry, I never played hockey.
So with hockey, you usually just wear this, and you have to strap it around the leg, and then it doesn't hold, so you have to put all this sock tape. So we just created a pocket so it holds it secure, and then you don't need as much tape. And then also, like especially with the younger kids, it takes them a long time to fiddle with these straps, so they can easily just get dressed themselves.
Yeah. Very cool.
Another question?
Oh.
So what's your grand, I mean, I know it's a grand vision already, but is there a super grand vision that you just aren't sharing with other people? Because obviously this is pretty far along. Like, are you gonna go up the body or hop sports?
Yep, yeah, exactly, great question. Yeah, both. So right now we're working on an upper body piece. So we do have, like, we're not just gonna be a single SKU company, we're going to be developing a whole line for hockey, and then soccer is the next sport that we're currently testing in as well.
Where are you doing your manufacturing?
So we're manufacturing, this order was in China, but we moved to Vietnam, got our cost down 100% for the next order.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask all the judges to meet me in